Hello everybody and welcome to Mass Effect 2168 Belly of the Beast. How is everybody's day going so far, everybody? Over here? Where are you now? You over here? No, you're over here now. There we go. How is everybody? Good?
Bad.
Bad?
I
Ugh.
was up there.
I stubbed my toe real bad last night. And it wasn't the big toe or the little toe, it was like the index toe. It's like a toe so unused to being stubbed.
Ollie,
Incredible pain.
Ollie, I broke my index toe on my right foot on Wednesday night before I left.
Oh.
What?
You
Okay,
broke it?
I can now no longer complain. Thank you, Frank.
Oh no, I was just saying, like, I know your pain.
So mildly annoying.
No, it was more than mildly annoying at Disney.
For you, I imagine. But I don't care for you, Frank. I care about my own problems and my own pain.
I'm just saying, I know your pain, man. But my pain was more so.
Well, I can say that my wife, it was her right foot, her ring toe, and she stubbed it so hard the entire thing was like black and blue and nasty looking for like 2 weeks. We think she may have broken, but it's one of those things where who goes to doctors? You know, like,
Well, there's nothing they can do for your toe.
Exactly. All they do is they wrap it up. Yeah, exactly. So, who cares? Exactly.
Still walk on your foot.
Who goes to doctors? All right. So, anyways, all right. Let's kind of catch up what happened last week very quickly. Cattle, who is Digital Derper Rick, Cattle was in a bar and somebody came up to him and said, "Hey, you, we got a job for you. Do you want it? Get a crew together." And he's like, "Sure, yeah, sounds great." He gets a crew together, including an Asari Huntress and a Krogan badass. And so the whole point of their job was to work for the Alliance to find an Alliance vessel that went dark, and then go to everyone's much quieter. I have it set for when I was doing something else before. That's why I fixed the sound. So you guys are louder now, much louder. Okay. It's been a long time since I streamed alone, so I didn't change the settings back from that. All right, so anyways, so Cattle had found Cattle had a job to go work for the Alliance to find an Alliance vessel that went dark. Apparently, you guys are the first responders getting there. Okay, well, you guys are on the trip. While you're on the way there, Ollie has sex with the person on the trip and finds out through the way his sex works that he's not entirely being honest, that somebody else had already responded there as another Alliance vessel, and so there's more information than he's letting on, but he's not really able to acquire much more than that. You guys get there and you see that not only are you not the first responders, you're actually the third responders, because a Batarian-looking ship has already arrived there. The Batarian-looking ship had cut a hole into the hull of the target that you guys are heading towards and put a bridge between the two ships and dropped in. The Alliance-looking military ship that arrived there prior, they actually put a proper bridge between the two usual, like, what are they called? Ports. Between the two ships, and they were attached. All three ships were dead in space, it seemed. Effectively no power. You check, no life signs, no life support, no nothing. You decide to cut a hole into the Alliance military ship, drop in there, and you just see corpses aplenty. You are currently on the Alliance military ship, searching around, trying to find out what you can, and all you're finding is corpses. You're able to partially power up part of the military computer for half an hour to try to get a little bit of information, and you did a little information, and then effectively ended the stream with two of you dropping down an elevator shaft using the biotic powers of the Asari, and one of you guys about to kick in a door to go down a stairwell because you didn't trust the Asari had enough biotic power to carry a big old booty down the way. Krogans are heavy. They're like very heavy. So it makes sense that you wouldn't trust that she'd be strong enough to carry you. The last thing that we're going to take note of that had happened was while you guys were there, you had picked up life signs from something deeper down in the ship. It seems as though there was a shuttle that was deeper inside the Alliance military frigate that had actual power turned on and life support actually active inside there. So, there you go. Why don't we start off with the Krogan, who certainly had a couple of mini plans of things that he wanted to do. Mr. Krogan person, what is your plan here? Frank?
Wait, I just muted.
Oh, I was like, what happened? Is Frank okay?
Oh dear.
Going off to a flying stop.
Haha. So, are we, yeah. Sorry, I've lost my voice.
You're going down the stairs.
So you actually going to
A bit too
kick...
fast for your liking,
No,
probably,
no.
but yeah.
It's exactly what I said last time was going to happen. So, yeah, the two people at the bottom of the stairs, they just hear mild, muffled swears, I guess, and just like lots of loud booms, and yeah, just a thunk against the door.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, I mean, if you thunk against the door, so you're going to try to burst it, so you're not trying to, like, rip it open, you're trying to, like, slam your shoulder into it, and
he's
awesome.
Definitely not.
And I imagine you're
Do you
going
not even remember what we discussed?
I remember the discussion post-stream last time, absolutely. It's just a matter of getting the actual door open, right? So...
No, like, the door on the bottom there was the thunk, and then no noise.
Now you have me lost. I'm sorry, Frank.
Saying they should try and open the door.
Oh, so just kind of like a boom.
Yeah.
Oh, well, they currently aren't quite where they can get to yet.
There.
They're still standing on top of the elevator at the bottom of the shaft, yeah.
In that case, I guess camera pans in, there's just like the sign of cracks on his back, his legs above him, just still holding his rifle.
As you do.
Human stairs, tiny.
Yeah.
Krogan feet, big.
So
he's definitely rolled down those stairs like roly-poly.
all right, perfect. So you guys will have to come across more cracks in a moment. So you're standing on top of the actual elevator itself. There is an emergency hatch for the elevator. However, as we had just discussed beforehand, almost everything kind of locks down. So you don't know whether or not this door itself is locked. You'd have to go over and check it. And it's like a twist open, pull open hatch. Sorry, hatch for the elevator. And to answer your question from last week, Ollie, the telekinesis, the way it works is you commit effort as a main action, or as just like your action, and it's for the scene. So when the scene ends, you get your effort back. You had already committed one, we had said, to kind of like controlling you, and then immediately afterwards him. So
great.
So I will allow your effort to extend that way, and even if you wanted to use your biotics to try to open up this thing right here, but then kind of like once you drop into the elevator, your effort is still gone for the scene, but you also lose your effective power right now. Cool. Go ahead.
It's reasonable to. Oh, so I still have biotic power right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. So,
then I'll pop open the hatch.
Okay. Sure. So you kind of like reach over and you try to like grab the hatch thing and start spinning it. And it actually does, and spins and whips open for you guys, so you can just drop into the elevator below.
Thunk.
You guys hop into the elevator below and kind of like lowering yourself in, and what's his name? Cattle will have to drop himself in, but you don't have to make any checks or anything, Cattle. I imagine.
Isn't with us.
No, not Cattle.
on
I'm
the
so
ship.
sorry. I'm so sorry. Not Cattle. It's what's his face?
Sparky.
Johnson, Steve.
Clark.
Yeah,
It
we
is
have
Clark.
We have Clark with us.
You have Clark with you. So you have Clark with you, and you lower. He's able to lower himself down, no problem. Not gonna make a check, and you drop yourself into there. So you're now standing inside the elevator, and you guys have to try to like open this one up. Except this time you don't have the big old Krogan with you to get it done. Do you want to use more biotic power to like open it up, or just kind of like help exert with Clark to get it done?
Ironically, unlike Rockwell, I'm not good at exerting. So yeah, I'm gonna biotic it again.
Sure. So you just invest another effort for the moment.
Yeah.
That's fine. So you invest your effort, and you just easily pry the doors open, and just do so. So the doors.
Why not do it if I can, right?
Yep. So the doors are open, and while you're at the while you're down there, all of a sudden that's when you hear like noises coming from through the doorway, and so you're like, "The hell is that?" And so you go over to the doorway.
Get the gun out.
Yeah, you go over to the doorway and you look through what is like bulletproof glass, but it's bulletproof featured glass. So is it really bulletproof versus these guns? These guns are insane. It's semi-bulletproof glass, and you look through and you see lying on his back at the bottom of the stairs the Krogan, Cracks, just kind of like lying there.
So, can Cracks actually see the window or whatever it is?
Depends how he fell,
Absolutely.
I guess.
You just see like his head like upside down, just like look up towards you guys, like, "Oh, hi guys."
I start opening the door, if I can.
Okay. Well, the door is magnetically sealed, so you're gonna have to try to change that. And it's not like the electronics are powered down. Sans the magnetic seal itself. You know what I mean? So like that is powered up.
Yeah,
you have to
it's
try
like
to bypass that.
Yeah. My character has no knowledge of the. Well, actually, I have electronics. I could try and, but there's no power, and our batteries are dead. So actually, kind of nothing I can do aside from I could shoot the door open. I guess that doesn't sound good or fun.
Like, if Krax can actually like move in the stairwell, if it's big enough, he's going to like try and roll over onto his arms and legs. But
Okay.
you know.
You can easily
Big
roll
broken
over. You can
tiny
easily
space.
roll over, and because we're not in a combat situation where we have to worry about T-Rexing you, you can easily roll yourself over and eventually get yourself up. I imagine there's no grace to it.
No, he doesn't care about grace. He's a Krogan.
Yeah.
So it's, it's like, and then, like on like the third attempt, he finally gets over.
Is it bad?
Like,
Thunk.
Is it bad that when I think of Krax, I don't equate him to like Rex or Grunt or anything? I more equate him to the young prince from Trolls. Is that bad?
Never seen Trolls.
No one gets that reference.
I think many people have seen Trolls. It was hilarious.
don't.
Age is showing.
I'm just saying.
think
No, my
one
age is
here
showing.
gets
Trolls came out earlier this year. It's
Yeah.
a kids movie that came out like 3
Exactly.
months ago.
I'm
No,
not a
nobody-
dad.
Listen, Anna Kendrick sang
hope.
her heart out. Okay, and
I usually watch kids' movies and I haven't seen that one.
Justin Timberlake is just incredible. He's Justin Timberlake. I'm just saying I would open mouth kiss Justin Timberlake. Just saying.
I mean, most people would.
Yeah. I mean, just because I'm curious what it tastes like. Just curious. Is it like I'm done.
Thank you.
I was about to make another reference, and it was a bad train. All right, keep going.
He's gonna keep going downhill.
The
Yeah.
point is, nobody
Ollie,
has
how are you
any
gonna
idea.
open the door? What's your
Again,
plan?
I actually have no way to open this door, Scott. And,
Okay.
And I can't think of a way, and Antari can't think of a way.
That's perfectly fine.
Aside from shooting it open, which she's not going to do because her
No.
teammates.
Clark
Sorry.
has decryption, so
Yeah.
Clark can actually.
But we
open
have
it.
no way to power it.
No. You don't have to. You have to actually remove the power from it, right? You don't have to deal with the electronic side. Oh crap! That's electronics, not
you
decryption.
exactly
No,
said
you were
that the
correct.
maglock is
It is
basically-
electronics, not decryption. That's what it is, because you're dealing with the mechanics, not the not.
And I can do
code.
that. If I can do that with electronics, then yeah, I would have been doing that ages ago.
Oh, there you
I
go.
thought because of the situation.
Because you're more or less
Okay.
cutting power.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I thought the situation is that the maglock was essentially designed to fail shut, so it was essentially locked forever. But I guess I'll do intelligence electronics.
Yes, intelligence electronics works. Okay,
First-
so it takes a little bit of
Okay,
time.
there.
It takes a little bit of time for you to get to find out where it is that you need to cut the power to, because more or less what you're working with is do you have on your character sheet line shunts or no?
No.
That's
I
fine.
actually have no electronic related gear.
Nope, that's fine, because Clark actually does have line shunts. So what it is like as the two of you kind of discuss what you need to do, and the Krogan is struggling to get up on the other side. He busts out his line shunts, and he's going to take one of them, and he's going to plug it against the side of the wall, and he's going to hand you one. And so what you do is more or less like while you're looking at your Omni tool right there, you're taking this thing and almost like you're using a fiber optic cam looking on the other side, but it's like X-raying through the wall. You're moving it along, trying to find where the wire group clusters are that you need, and then beyond that, you have to try to find which group of wires you need. And then finally, once you realize kind of like what it is, then you signal tap between the line shunt itself and the wires that you need, and finally start trying to hack into it. It takes you a while, probably about 4 minutes or so, before you can actually isolate down to where
Blink
it is
of
that
an
you need.
eye for an Asari.
Blink of an eye for an Asari. And oh man, the poor cattle is like just grew a beard. The amount of time it took for you to find
Yeah,
us.
we haven't responded for at least like 8 minutes, and he's just like, "Are they dead?"
Yeah,
'Cause
No, I
one-
imagine I'd be tracking your positions and whatnot because I'd have access to your Omni tools, at least on a basic level. I'd also be trying to hail the survivors like the shuttle in the meanwhile, just blast away at the open frequencies that Clark gave me.
That's so the gotcha because you're trying to kind of get in contact with those other people. Yep, no, that's
Yeah.
fine. So you're throwing signals out there to see if anything comes in, and we're gonna get to that in a moment. But for now, so eventually you find out where it is you believe you need it to be, and then you start kind of like severing wires from this side, like electronic charges sent out to like sever wires, sever power, and then eventually the magnetic seal on the door releases and opens up, and the Krogan can easily grab the door and move it open for you for himself, and join you guys on the second floor or the lower floor.
Monterey does not mention that she saw him on his back. I mean, he knows that we both saw him on his back. She doesn't make a thing of it.
Doesn't need to be a thing.
Yeah, he doesn't mention it.
And so with that, what is it? Clark kind of like pulls up on his Omni tool. For
Where we need to go.
Remember, Omni tools, all of the hollow images that you see on people's Omni tools and whatnot, those are only you can see your own Omni tools images unless you intentionally make it use a holographic display. And so he does the holographic display of the ship's map again, and then shows you guys like, okay, this is where we are, and then this is where it was that the cattle had pinged for us to go from back on the ship, and you guys start making your way there. So from where it is, because the elevator where it was stopped, you guys have two options. One, you can either lift the elevator up, so you can actually physically move the elevator up somewhat, and in doing so will allow you access to the shaft beneath it, and you can drop down the last little bit and get to the bottom of the ship where the shuttle and all that stuff is pretty quickly. Or you can go into actually travel to the back of the ship and find the another stairwell, bringing yourselves down.
I would say travel. I mean, it makes very little sense in a ship with no power to do that. That's to do the thing with the elevator. That just seems unnecessarily dangerous.
Yep, just seems like you're overexerting yourself for no reason.
Yeah. I mean, even with biotics, that would just take a long time and time me out.
Mm-hmm. I think you've already used 2 of your 4 exert.
Yeah,
anyway, so.
exactly. So.
Yep. Cool. And I imagine the Krogan has no problem with just trekking it along in case it's dangerous. So you guys do trek it along, and along the inside of the ship, one of the things that you guys notice, one of the things the Asari notices, is that holy shit, the ship is ugly. It has no grace to it. It has no oomph to it whatsoever.
Especially because I'm seeing it so little because we don't have our lights on, and I can't see in the dark.
Well, you have your headlights on. The headlights are.
Well, we wouldn't have our headlights on. We didn't earlier when we were exploring. I wouldn't have my headlights on.
Oh,
I
no.
would have told everyone else to turn them off.
You were assuming that everybody's dead, so we'll actually RP that. So as you guys continue moving forward,
we are.
Yeah, we'll RP this conversation real quickly. So
Never.
Because now you guys are down at the bottom of the line shaft. Remember, you had your headlights on to get down the line shaft so you could see each other. You guys continue to go forward, and Clark has his headlights on. I imagine Frank does as well, because why have them off when you can see in regular light? And and you would say what, Entourage?
It's weird. I don't know. I don't know why this needs to be a thing to be said or role played. It just seems actually incredibly fucking logical.
Because you can't see anything. Because literally, you would be hand on somebody's shoulders, stumbling through the dark.
No, we already discussed this, Scott. She can see enough to stumble around and not fall over.
Which is incredibly dangerous.
Two big people leading her. She goes in behind.
RPing it, Clark would say, "That's stupid. Why would we not just look? Everybody here's dead."
Then again, if this is a whole thing and it's their light and not immediately, she just wouldn't have her headlights on and would just be following behind using their light. That's fine. It doesn't make sense to me.
So she chooses to leave hers off. That's perfectly fine. And the two of them with their headlights on and you with yours off continue traveling your way through the ship. So now I can describe the scene. As you guys are traveling your way through the ship, one of the things that you notice is that there's just bodies all over. Again, gravity is still active on the ship, so it's not like the bodies are floating around or anything like that, but you just see corpses littered about the ship. And because you're in this deck down here, one of the things that you guys do travel through is the mess hall. So you see people that have just like keeled over, lying dead in front of whatever meal they were eating at the time. Because sure, you guys were on an alert docking to another ship that was a concern, but it's not an all hands on deck thing. There are people that are literally just not on duty right now. It's not like they were actively being attacked or anything like that when things went wrong. So there are people like literally in the mess hall dead on top of their food, and you can see their food is again incredibly well preserved because the entire ship is very, very, very cold. There's no air or bacteria or anything like that in here to really eat away at the things that are inside of it. So those are the things on the tables, but they're all just kind of like lying around dead. It's a graveyard and kind of a chilling scene where you're walking through this mostly dark area and just seeing all these bodies around. It is very still. When you finally get across to the other side, and actually, just to take it back one step, I imagine neither one of you, because of the fact that you guys are both young for your characters' ages, have ever walked through a ship full of just a bunch of corpses before, where the life support was completely shot out and everybody died. Because that's not typically a tactic that you want to use. Prisoners are valuable. Prisoners can give you answers. Prisoners are tradable. If it was a task to go capture people, and the task of actually targeting a ship's life support and taking that down isn't easy. Otherwise, everybody would always do it always. It's actually a very difficult task. And even when you take it down, there's still residual life support. This is something where the life support went down and was vacuumed out of the ship almost instantly. So it's a very unique situation. So continuing on. When you guys finally get your way back to the back half of the ship, over to the stairwell that you believe you can head down, you have to do a similar situation where you more or less you have to hack into the door to open it up. Do you want to do it the same way there, Ollie?
Opening a door?
Yeah, open it the same exact way as you did beforehand?
Yeah.
Okay, do you have any electronics, Frank, or no?
Probably not. Let me check.
Okay.
I have -1.
Frank, I like what you said in chat there. You would argue that you have during scavenger runs.
Yeah.
I agree that you may have gone through ships where there's just a bunch of corpses. I imagine also the grav shit and stuff like that would have been powered down. So it literally would have been like bodies and equipment and everything kind of like flying all over the place. And that there would be some amount of decay and whatnot on those.
More like pristine.
Yeah, exactly.
This is like a moment in time.
Yeah, thank you, Ollie. That was a brilliant description of that.
That's what Antori would have said.
Beautiful.
Seeing it.
This is why you're playing the Asari. All right, so I'm sorry. Go ahead, Frank. Make your. Sorry, Frank. Do you have it or no?
I have a -1. I can make it if you want.
No. You don't want that. So, Ollie, make your check again.
You don't want that.
Maybe you do
I had
want
a bad
me to do
feeling
it.
about this.
No. It's fine. I understand you're saying that in character, so it's fine.
I'm not.
You spend that a couple of minutes working on it,
This
and
isn't Star Wars?
you cut a couple of wires, but sadly none of them are the correct wires, and they're not actually opening the door. You can continue.
Frank's just going to go up, and he's just going to try to open it.
The easiest way for you to do that, because of the way that the door is flush and magnetically sealed on the inside, is I know you have an Omni Blade. You kind of want to cut into the metal itself and then use that to launch the door open. It doesn't take any tools. You're just going to make an exert strength check. But if you are going to do that and you make a couple extra handholds, you can actually have Clark assist you if you offer or ask for him to do so.
Would a Krogan ask for assistance on opening a door, though?
That's why I asked instead of just saying it happens.
He's going to try
He's a
on
proud
his own
lad.
first.
Mm-hmm.
Strength, no modifiers.
Correct. Hey!
Hey!
Yeah, Frank, the real Krogan.
That's why we have a Krogan.
Oh my god, it's amazing. So he's just kind of like... and like rips the door
he
open.
doesn't even use his Omni tool. He with his Kenobo, he just pulls it up, unsheaths it, goes clunk clunk clunk, and he just bangs a handhold into the door, and then just
There you go. And
an elegant solution.
So it's funny is because when you do that, because the magnetic seal is so incredibly tight, as you rip the door free, not only does part of the door come free, but also some of the magnets from the inside of the frame itself rip through the frame and are still stuck going up the other side. It is just this hard ripping from the other side. It's something that you're looking at this and you're like, I don't think anybody but a Krogan can do this. I really doubt anybody but a Krogan could pull this off. And there you are. The door is ripped open for you.
kind of want one of those magnets. Just gonna try and pull off, and it's just impossible.
Would you want to try to cut it free, or are you good?
I think for this he might try and cut it free, just because he wants a magnet.
Sure. This actually would be a pretty easy check. Give me 1 second. Let me.
I was wondering if we were going to keep the magnets.
Why don't you roll for me? Because I imagine you're gonna have. I know you're not doing a lot of grace, but roll for me Omni Blade, dexterity.
Strength? Nope.
Okay,
7.
so you try cutting it free just to make it nice, clean cut. You can get it free. It's not working out so well. I mean, you can pull it free now if you want. It's just gonna be like ripping out a bunch of stuff behind it.
Oh
Maybe I'll
yeah,
clean it
that's
up later.
fine.
Sure. So you grab it and you tug at it for another. This whole thing takes him another like minute or two of you guys kind of like standing here while he's doing this. And
I can just
eventually pulls it free.
imagine in the ship after this mission, just Strag is sitting there just trying to peel all the other bits off so he just has the magnet on its own. That's what he's gonna do tonight.
Like on the ship, that's all he's.
I would just say that be Luke has just an inelegant solution.
So the fun part is
all
when
that
you
sort of
rip the thing free, you might think just because you ripped it free and it's no longer connected to the electronics that are behind it, that would actually make it so it just lost all of its magnetic power.
Oh God, no.
But it's not how it works because it stores
magnet.
exactly. It literally magnetizes the magnet to be one polar charge and the other one to be the opposite polar charge, so they come together. And then the electronics, when they release it, they just make it so they're the same charge and push each other away. And so it kind of like one of them always stays negative and the other one kind of fluctuates between negative and positive as needed. So when you pull it away from the electronics, they're still fucking stuck together with all the wires and everything. It's connected to a bit of metal. You kind of like shove it in your bag. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
So he's very happy with himself because he has a magnet from a ship, and you guys are. Does Antiquary say anything to? I can't say that name right now.
I said it was an inelegant solution, but when he's like prying magnets off, and I realize it's not like he's disabling a trap or anything, I just be like, "Well, now can we continue?"
Clark just watches, shaking his head, and he's like, "Krogan."
He like looks to the other two and is like, souvenir.
Cattle's just listening and just quietly face palming on the ship, just like, oh my god.
So you guys make your way through down the stairwell. Do you fall down this stairwell as well, Frank, or do you think you've gotten your hang of things?
I think this time Krax is he's definitely going to go first just in case. But are there like handrails?
There are.
Yeah, like
Line
one
standard.
arm on his gun and the other like on the handrail behind him, like one step, next leg, one step, next leg, like the entire way down.
I don't know.
I like to imagine at some point you nearly trip and you just rip off the handrail and you're like, oh.
You know, he probably does.
I feel like I'm gonna make you make, and you're not supposed to make PCs make these rolls with this low of DC, but I feel like what I need to do right now is make me a DC 4 exert dexterity check.
All right.
Just
You're
because
not
you
meant
describe
to,
it.
but you always
You
do.
know, it
when
kind
a
of
PC's
needs to be
doing
done.
something dumb, you're like, look, if you fuck this up, you fuck this up.
Well, you know what? You make your way down the stairs with surety, okay? With sure foot, you make your way down the stairs, no problem. You are good to go. So you
It's
make
going
it
one step at a time.
one step at a time. You get down to the bottom of the stairs. The other two have zero problems whatsoever getting down to the bottom of the stairs. And sadly, once you're down there, of course, there is another door between where you are and where you would like to be.